How acknowledgments affects by ruining one's childhood and in turn society. Have you ever observed that some cannot seem to live without getting applauses? Like, it is an identity for some people. The applauses seem to fill their cup with pride. Some always want to be in the limelight. Like back in my school days, some people craved to be always on the stage. So much so that sometimes through unfair means by using some or the other kind of influence they could with the help of some teachers. Again in the same scenario itself, that I never understood back then but now it makes everything clear. Those teachers also wanted to be at the top by using some students who were quite accustomed to the stage, and had all the necessary skills required to execute the given task at hand. Those teachers could always find it easier to just be able to delegate the work and avert any kind of mishaps by simply taking the route that seemed safe enough. What was the larger impact on the crowd that could never get a chance with this kind of setting fixed permanently? Their chances of getting the required skill and exposure getting compromised. To use the word compromised is a bit of a disgrace as their childhood was ruined by such misdemeanors which made their chances to walk the high road earlier in life take a setback. Their precious time might have been spent in exploring and understanding this setting, and trying to get accustomed to it. This is where applauses that seem like a great way to showcase the beauty of a performance also becomes a root cause for others to never getting the chance, by calling it with different names. Another example is the center of attention and behavior of gossips. It is a known fact that many of us witnessed bullying in all its enormities either in real life, but surely, in the movies or series that we get much entertained from. Why does even in the movies or series that feels so relatable? Because unknowingly, each of us has been subjected to its niceties and couldn't ever understand why we deserved it in the first place. The need to be center of attention comes from the need to get applause of one's greatness in the name of cool attitude, and trying to sway the public with one's superficial behavior. Why does all of this attract the crowd, or why it actually works is the main topic of discussion. Going to the basics of the life, there is a trinity that holds true in every case: food, survival and reproduction. Let us dwell onto the survival topic. The survival is a multifaceted concept that molds itself as per the life's basic needs. A plant will try to first survive through germination, and then growing as fast as it can, till it reaches to the point of being able to dictate the surroundings. Then it will try to dictate the surroundings by trying to hamper growth of other plants or trees, by making it difficult to receive nutrients, water, or by creating toxins such as eucalyptus tree. Animals also have the same process in case of survival. First try to grow as fast and as healthy as possible, and then try to dictate the surroundings. But in case of animals, the dictation goes beyond just competition for food, like in the case of pack animals, dominating and leading the pack to safety, finding shelter and other such reasons come to the fore. Humans also have that behavior entrenched deep within their pack behavior or social behavior: dominate and lead the pack. This brings us back to our topic: why it actually works. When contemporary knowledge, movies, serials, television series, etc., leads to a conclusion that some attitudes like bad behavior are acceptable to some extent and even makes it an attraction, all the pack gets attracted to it, and to lead it will mean to be an epitome of that behavior. While growing up, I had a few beliefs taught by my parents, but then when the school atmosphere looks so different, it makes one question their own beliefs. Isn't bullying and harassing someone a bad thing? Why it is an accepted behavior here? Isn't speaking abusive words a bad behavior? Why it is cherished over here? When such questions make you think deeper into the society's acceptable attitudes, it brings out a stark change within your attitude. You no more get to choose which beliefs to accept and which to discard as the understanding gets challenged beyond recognizable levels. But why does the contemporary knowledge lead to such conclusions? Another inference of the first example of student-teacher working in cohorts for mutual benefits is lack of putting efforts and lack of taking chance. Childhood and adolescent years are that age where perfection should not dictate the student's life, but experimentation should be the goal. Letting each student explore all the nuances of the school life without someone telling them, this is not your cup of tea. The schools itself are at fault in this whole gamut of their internal proceedings. And all of this leads a student to believe that society is inherently unequal, that a person's recognition is based not on their efforts but their connections. Those connections give people required chances, while some never get them due to lack of those certain connections at certain periods of life. So over time, the school that should have built the students to explore and be able to face challenges required to make the society a better place, starts making them question their own worth, and as such of the society itself. And instead of building a personality that stands out, they get taught about wrong notions of politics and what it inherently means. This is a dangerous road, for it leads to more compromised attitude getting built in the children than an attitude of facing the adversities that leads to upholding the values. The age where one should be learning values becomes an age where one learns what contemporary politics is all about. The kind of news that is emanating from the schools is enough to understand this notion and its repercussions. A teacher holds the most important position in the life of a child. Children look up to their teacher before getting to know and accepting right from wrong and wrong from right. Hence, in the ancient India, teachers held the most important place in any kingdom, so much so that even the king bowed down to them in respect. This is one such example of an applause turning sour, and the road it led to. There are many such examples if you go into the details of it. But the more appalling question is, where does this need for applause is arising from? The desires are the root cause of all the suffering, were Buddha's words, but didn't the same desires lead one to leave their house for understanding their purpose? Didn't the same desires to understand led to Buddha getting enlightenment? The only difference that I could find was, not all desires are bad in themselves, but some, like having a desire of being acknowledged for any accomplishments. That acknowledgement can be anything. Sometimes, the need to prove something is itself a problem. Desires that are directed outwards seem to be the problem, rather than those that bring out an internal change within oneself. I find getting acknowledged, and as such acknowledgement itself, to be a mental disease. It fills the cup of pride, but it also is an infinitely hollow cup, which doesn't know when to stop. It feels good at the beginning, a small compliment, then a small event in one's name, then an event that causes disturbances to everyone yet fills the pride of some, and that road keeps getting paved. Where does this road end? If I want to be acknowledged by a crowd and that is my end goal in this life, to be in the pages of history for all eternity to come, then it should not be cherished. If I want to accomplish something for my own self that leads me towards bliss without physically harming or abusing someone in any way, then that should be cherished. The road of reasons ought never to start at getting acknowledged. Most of the sages of ancient India got enlightenment when their need of getting acknowledged died. And the mention of such grand gestures in their honor still didn't make them leave their ascetic ways, for they knew its futility. To be enlightened in life starts at completely diminishing the need for acknowledgments, then only your values can be upheld. Then only you will start doing things for your own fulfillment rather than for reasons that causes mental anguish to many. Your purpose isn't to be acknowledged in this or any life. That, if happens, may happen, but it should never shake you to the core and make you compromise on your much beloved values.